Hello and welcome everyone today. So today I am with Tim Yeomans, who is the Centre Manager for Shannon Applied Biotechnology Centre. Hi Tim, could you introduce yourself and your organisation please?
Thanks very much, Georgia. My name is Tim Yeomans. I'm the Centre Manager for Shannon Applied Biotechnology Centre. We're a collaboration between the Institute of Technology in Tralee and Limerick Institute of Technology. And we're core funded as a technology gateway by Enterprise Ireland, and we also work as a research centre. So we were established in 2007 and we have about 15 staff at the moment and 12 postgraduate students. And our main area of research is in bioresources and helping companies and society get more value from bioresources. And so the way that we do this is by screening the raw material or byproduct for high value compounds or biorefining opportunities. And then we work with the company to determine if processing of the biomass is actually commercially viable or not. So because of this and because bioresources go across a wide range of sectors, we work with food and drink companies, cosmetics, nutraceuticals, biopharma, environmental, agriculture, biotechnology, and of course, most importantly, we work with the marine sector. And the big link between all of these is bioresources.
Okay, so can you tell me what kind of service you provide that would be of interest to the Irish aquaculture community, please?
Yeah, sure. So about 30% of the projects that we work with are in the marine sector. And I suppose the range of sectors we work with that I've mentioned, we feel brings opportunities for our partners. And so if we're working in the marine sector and looking to identify a bioactive compound from a byproduct, we're not necessarily looking to put it back into the marine sector. We're looking at opportunities in cosmetics and food and drink and healthcare. And so we really feel that brings an opportunity for our clients in terms of the network that we can bring. And so marine biotech is certainly very much close to our heart. And I suppose the application of biotechnology to the marine sector, blue biotechnology, it's long been recognised being essential really to unlock high value compounds from these bioresources. And so seaweed in particular has a long history in Ireland, but has been kind of overlooked to a certain extent in terms of some of the compounds that can be extracted from it. So very much we work with companies in the marine sector to try and help them identify applications for their biomass. So we've done a little bit of work with fish waste and oyster powder, but certainly the main marine biomass we work with is seaweed and microalgae as well. So about 95% of all the seaweed harvested in Ireland is just one species. And we can't really compete with countries like Japan and Indonesia in terms of scale. So the opportunity really lies with the quality and the bioactivity of the product that can be produced. So for those companies who are producing seaweed or microalgae, we can help them determine how they might be able to use it, what high value compounds might be present, and how to process the material for optimum usage. And I suppose commercialization of these sectors really requires a biorefinery approach. So it's not just trying to extract one compound from a bioresource. You need to be looking at a number of different compounds to really make it commercial, I suppose. And we work with companies to help to do that.
Okay, so what stage of development are you at as an organisation? So what's next for your organisation?
Yeah, so we were established back in 2007, and certainly while now the bioeconomy is kind of, it's the word on the lips of everybody, we were working the bioeconomy before the term was even coined, I suppose. And we've worked with hundreds of Irish companies over that period and collaborate with other Irish and international colleges. I've mentioned that we've got 15 staff. 4 of these are specifically dedicated to business development and project management. And so this makes sure that the companies that we work with, they have consistent contact and be confident the projects will be delivered. We also have a team of scientists, so postdoctoral researchers, research assistants, so professional researchers really whose technical expertise we rely on to make sure the projects achieve what has been agreed. Mm-hmm. So we're here to help companies, we're here to do our own research as well, and really applied research and how we help companies is really, really important. But unless we can get our own research funded, we kind of run out of steam in terms of what we can deliver to companies. So we do have our own research that we get funded through Science Foundation Ireland, the Irish Research Council, the Environmental Protection Agency, EU funding, and that's, I suppose, what we term kind of use-inspired research. So when we work with companies, we get ideas about things that we can do, about ways that we can help them more through maybe funding mechanisms that aren't available to them. And so by the time we're finished a research project in-house, it's kind of in good shape for us to start talking to companies about how it might be able to help them. In terms of seaweed and microalgae, I suppose very broadly speaking, the sector can be divided into those who grow the material and those who use the material in products. And so we do a lot of work with those companies who use the material in products to help determine the benefits of the extracts or whatever it might be. but we also work with the companies who grow the microalgae and the seaweed, and helping them to identify species that may bring higher value products at the end of the value chain. I suppose that's really important in terms of design innovation. So rather than just growing a seaweed because somebody you know did, you need to be looking at the market you're trying to get into and determining which species of macro or microalgae are best suited to produce the extracts for that market.
Okay, so I think Shannon ABC, from my understanding, sits in a relatively interesting place in, I guess you could say, the landscape of Ireland. Can you explain a little bit more about that, please?
Yeah, sure. So we're part of an Enterprise Ireland Technology Gateway Network. So Enterprise Ireland have funded these technology gateways in the Institutes of Technology and the technological universities to help companies to address near-to-market solutions for particular technical challenges. So there's 15 of these gateways. They've all got a different expertise area. So ours is very much in the biotech and bioresource space. And so in terms of that close to market support and in the Technology Gateway Network, we're the gateway to talk to around those particular areas. But there's other gateways who work in ICT and photonics and pharmaceutical. And so when companies come to us looking for a solution, if we can't provide it, we certainly know somebody who'll be well placed to do that. Mm-hmm. And so I suppose on a broader picture within Ireland, we collaborate with a lot of the universities and institutes of technology all over the country. We've actually recently signed a memorandum of understanding with BioOrbit, who are the SFI Bioeconomy Research Centre. Yeah. We feel this is a really significant opportunity for the two centres to collaborate together to have an impact on Irish industry as well as the wider bioeconomy.
Okay, and I know you mentioned that you wanted to talk about the future of the marine sector and how you might engage more with the Irish industry. Could you explain that?
Yeah, sure. I suppose while marine might be only, 30% of what we do, it's an area that me and a lot of the researchers who work at Shannon ABC are really passionate about. There's such opportunity there. Marine biotech has been identified as one of the areas that can really grow very, very quickly. We work with a lot with microalgae and a lot with seaweed, and we really we see the opportunity that can provide for companies in Ireland to help develop further. And so we're really conscious of getting the word out there that we're here to help companies and that we have expertise in these areas to help them grow different things. We have our very own biobank of Irish microalgae and cyanobacteria that companies can utilize. So there are specific microalgae that are proprietary to Shannon ABC. And so we're really excited to try and put those to work to help produce novel compounds, add revenue to companies, and contribute to the bioeconomy.
Great. So you mentioned companies. Do you work with a certain size or type of company, or is that relatively open?
Yeah, it's fairly open. I suppose to give some idea of context, in the last kind of 3 or 4 years, the smallest project we did was €85 and the largest was 4.2 million. So, we work with a broad range of company size. We are, I suppose, especially experienced at working with some of the smaller and startup companies. We do certainly do a lot of that, but we do work with multinational companies as well. And I suppose in working with those smaller companies, a lot of the IoTs, they're a little bit smaller than universities. Sometimes companies find them a little bit more accessible. That's very much a generalization. But certainly we do pride ourselves in working well with those smaller companies and really being there to a certain extent as an external R&D department for those companies.
Okay, so if someone thinks this is exactly what I've been looking for, how do they get in touch? How do they find out more, please?
Yeah, sure. So we have our website, which is shannonabc.ie. So we're putting together a new website at the moment. The one that's there at the moment is a little bit old, but it has all our contact details on it. So please do go onto the website and check it out to see what's there. We have a Twitter account, so at Shannon_ABC. And if all comes to all, they can always just Google Shannon ABC and they should be able to find us that way as well.
Excellent. Well, that's everything I had that I wanted to cover. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
No, that's everything. Thanks very much, Georgia.
Excellent. All right. Thank you very much, Tim. Nice talking to you.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.